The festive season begins in full fervor at different times in different states. But broadly speaking, we are at the beginning of the festive season for the year 2021. Of course, Onam has already kicked off in Kerala. We are on the cusp of Ganesh Chaturti in Maharashtra, and then all of the other festivals will follow. It's expected, usually the festive season fervor goes on till about the end of the calendar year. So now why does it matter? From the business point of view, the festive season is usually a time when a good chunk of revenue comes in for several retail companies. For several sectors, these months are extremely crucial. Some of them get 20 to 30% of their annual revenue just from these few months in different geographies. And this time around, the festive season comes after quite a tumultuous 2021. A horrid second wave hit us in the first half of the year. The economy has recovered, but not quite to pre-pandemic levels. Restrictions are easing, mobility is increasing, and those indicators are being seen from various data points, whether it's how much people are spending through digital payments like UPI, or how many people are taking Ola and Uber, transport services. All of that is looking up. Electricity consumption, things like that. But is it going to translate into better consumption? A consumption appetite for Indians has still been weaker than pre-pandemic. So what are the hopes as far as industry is concerned? We're hoping to give you a snapshot from today's show. Joining me today is Thiagarajan, MD of Blue Star Limited, Nilesh Gupta, MD of Vijay Sales, and Manish Singhania, Vice President at FADA. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for speaking with us today. Mr. Thiagarajan, let me begin by getting your overall view on the kind of sentiment we're seeing this time round, because sentiment plays a very crucial role in whether people will actually go out and make those spends, make those purchases that they may have been putting off until an auspicious time or an important time.
Good evening, Tamana. Thank you for having me in your show. The sentiments are very, very positive. If I compare with last year, it is something like 30 to 40% more than last year. But if you're comparing with the pre-pandemic levels, almost the demand is at the pre-pandemic level. I think the consumer sentiment is driving huge consumption, and also by the important factor, I'm talking from the point of view of air conditioners. The upgrading of homes is taking place in a big way, and I think the festival season will be a great one. To add to that, last year also festival season was great, and I think it is going to be a tremendous festive season for consumer durables. For air conditioners, it is not a season actually. We all sell more in the summer season, but even then we are witnessing huge demand. This is from B2C point of view. And if you are taking at B2B level also, a lot of investments are taking place. So on the whole, the sentiments are excellent.
Unfortunately, climate change has in some parts of the country at least created a situation where you need air conditioners all year round. But important outlook coming there from Mr. Thiagarajan, that he sees a 30 to 40% increase over last year. Nilesh Gupta, do you agree with that? Because I recall very clearly, and you and I also had a chance to speak then, last year also there was a lot of enthusiasm just around this time. July 2020 onwards, the mood started shifting. By October, November, we had forgotten that there ever was COVID-19, and then we paid the price, the following year in April and May. But there was a lot of, V-shaped recovery, pent-up demand being seen festive season onwards. Do you think that that is being matched this year, or has it actually improved?
In fact, I would fully agree with Mr. Thiagarajan's viewpoint that the sentiment is very positive. And from sentiment perspective, definitely we are seeing a positive sentiment of 30 to 40%. But more than that, what is very important for this festive season to kick off in a big way is we do not have a third wave of pandemic and there are no more lockdowns. If I think we are able to take care of that, if everybody of us, even today onwards, take care of the COVID protocols and take care of themselves so that everybody else is also protected, I think we'll have a good festive season. The reason for my this positive outlook is post the unlockdown after the wave 2, we have seen a tremendous shift in consumer durable buying. In fact, there's one more shift which we saw post wave 1 last year compared to last year, this year, is that now consumers are buying all premium products, they're upgrading it. Like, for example, I'll give you in a category like laptops. Last year, everybody thought it's a temporary phase for schools not opening and offices not opening. So most of them were planning and buying only entry-level laptops. This year, they realize it's already been a year since we have gone to office or the kids have gone to school, and we don't know when the schools and the offices will resume. And so everybody who's buying a laptop now is buying the top-end laptop much more than what they need also. So I think from that perspective, and this we are seeing the trend across all the product categories. People are buying bigger refrigerators, larger capacity washing machines. Everything they want is the XL and more features. So I think we should be having a good festive sale this year.
Okay, Mr. Singhania, is that the kind of sentiment you're seeing in automobile sector as well, which has been plagued by a lot of uncertainty as far as supply side chokes are concerned? We've heard already of long waiting periods, 6 to 8 months in some cases for premium models. So is it difficult to gauge what the demand is like, considering there's already a waiting list and a shortage of supply?
For auto industry, it has been a totally different chapter, and what my peers here have been saying, demand is there and the requirement of products is ever increasing. The same also happened in auto industry. It started to kind of bounce off very fast post wave 2, and people were well prepared. They could understand how to respond to COVID after the wave is over, and auto industry definitely responded, and we could see numbers really climbing up. But the unfortunate thing for us is the supply of semiconductors. The demand is definitely there. Dealers have regularly seen a rapid increase in walk-ins, test drives, and bookings at the dealerships. So the demand is definitely there, but the supply has become a very big issue in the auto industry. The semiconductor shortage has totally, thrown the auto industry off its course. And though it was expected the recovery would be faster and rapid, but the supply of semiconductor will definitely dampen the recovery course. And for auto industry, obviously the festive season used to be a huge time. Almost 25-30% of the annual retails coming in this 40 days, starting from Navratri to Deepavali, but especially in north part of India. But this time, even though we have customers, the vehicles will not be there. So tough time for us, and OEMs are definitely struggling. They are trying to regularize their supplies, but a lot of things are not in their hands. So customers need to be well prepared. If they need a vehicle, they need to pre-book it. They need to give options to the dealers, what different kind of colors they can choose from. So they should not be fixated on a particular model. Then only that particular vehicle would be made available to the consumer. Otherwise, you have to wait for the vehicles. That's the story in auto industry.
Yeah. So, you brought up the issue about semiconductors, and it's not just the auto industry that is suffering from a shortage, though possibly it's hitting the auto sector more because they were lower down the priority list. Mr. Thiagarajan, are you seeing that impact at all, or is the space for consumer durables overall, seeing that impact as more and more products become smart products and the demand and the requirement for semiconductors increases. On top of that, we've seen a sharp increase in input costs overall. Talk to us about the impact of these supply side constraints.
It is true, Tamana. The air conditioners are inverter driven ones, and therefore there are a lot of electronics into that. And it is true that there is shortage. It is also true that you pay a higher price. Third is that even if it is available with your supplier abroad, the ocean freight and container availability is also an issue. So as Mr. Singhania pointed out, it is a question of pre-planning from the manufacturer side apart from customer side. So as of now, the good news is that this issue has been going on. We had planned it well. We may not have an issue till the festival season is over. But what is going to happen is the summer season production will have to commence by November, December. And we are all chasing. It is the same with everyone else. Unfortunately, the component ecosystem in India had not been strong for air conditioning industry or consumer electronics, but it is developing very fast with the PLI schemes that are there. But for it to fructify, as imagine, it will take 12 to 18 months. In the meanwhile, there is absolutely no other to go ahead and plan in advance and take the price hike. There is absolutely no way that the companies will be able to absorb the input cost increase. Now, having said that, over the years, if you see, nothing in business or life is going to be easy. There is a huge growth in demand. It comes with some kind of challenge. As Nilesh mentioned, the most important challenge is that, look, we should not get into another wave. That is in the mind, actually, to begin with. And and at the same time, I'm my personal opinion is I don't think the raw material prices like steel, copper, aluminum, it is going to come under control for a foreseeable future. We have to wait for the demand globally to taper down, and then the new capacities to come in. And till such time, it is going to be high. But the good news is, despite price increase, the consumers want to buy the products. If at all, I can give you one more indication is that there is the customers who are buying under consumer finance scheme, it has gone up significantly. During this period, it used to be only 30%. We are seeing 45% of the consumers buying through consumer finance. So there is a need that they would like to get fulfilled very fast without waiting for a summer season. That trend also I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're talking about a long time before input prices return to normal, and this could continue for quite some time. Are we going to see consistent impact on prices? You mentioned briefly, Mr. Thiagarajan, that input costs have gone up. Those prices will have to be increased. Some price hikes have already been taken. What is the range of further price hikes you see in the next 6 to 10 months?
So as on 1st of January 2021, it was between 5 to 8%. So around April, prior to the second wave lockdown, there was 3 to 5%. And we are in September, we are looking at 3 to 5%. So you can easily imagine something like 12.5 to 15% price increase has taken place compared to last festival season. Now, yeah, there is also going to be a energy label change as for air conditioners are concerned. So this is, it should have taken place on 1st of January 2021. But they gave one more year, and while the industry is asking for further extension because there were huge inventory, summer season was washed out. I do not think that it is going to be postponed by 1 year. Some postponement can happen. But imagine each energy label change comes with a cost increase actually. It can be 5 to 7% when you upgrade the energy label. So this is where we are. And so it is 12.5 to 15% increase compared with the last festival season. In January 1, if the energy label change if it takes place, it is 17. Now, this is after the company is absorbing somewhere around 2.5 to 3% margin erosion over the previous period. Plus, they have done some value engineering or certain other designs in order to mitigate that. So it's across the industry. It's not that we only consume steel or copper. Again, if you look at it, it is a capacity constraint of manufacturers plus the input costs of those raw material suppliers themselves.
Absolutely. So already a 15% increase in prices has been taken. More could come. Nilesh, to top it, there are no discounts on offer this time around. So consumers not necessarily king this festive season.
No, I would not say that the consumer is not necessarily king. He's always a king and he's always an emperor. So I would say, so yes, we may see a muted offers on discounts and possibly freebies. But one thing which is going to be remain consistent is finance offers. And I think that is the biggest discount which consumer is looking at. Especially now since his ASP, his average purchase price is going up because he's wanting a better and a larger product. So I think what he's looking out more than discount is a lucrative, good EMI scheme where the tenor is more and the down payment is less. And I think that is one area where all the consumer brands are working towards it. And it's not that we'll not see discounts. See, there is definitely a strain on the supply side this Diwali. But what I feel is because there are multiple brands available in the country and doing, so what would happen is, only the consumer should not be very choosy about a brand and a model. If he's open within the brand buckets, okay, I don't mind if brand A is not there, I'm okay with brand B. And within brand A, if model 1 is not there, I'm okay with model 2. I think we won't have that much of an issue. Yes, the entire basket and the entire variety may not be open for him at that particular point of time. So supply side is a strain, but demand side is, so it's a very different situation which we have seen in so many years where the demand is going to be robust and the supply is going to be a strain. Very, very strange situation to be in.
Yeah, absolutely strange situation. Give us a sense, Nilesh, about what categories have seen the sharpest price rise. Mr. Thiagarajan talked about at least a 15% price rise in the broad consumer durable segment and specifically air conditioners. But which ones have seen the sharpest peak?
So if you ask me, I think appliances have seen the sharpest rise, specifically because of the cost rise in the input cost of the raw materials. And most important is not only appliances, across even televisions, if we see, across the board, we have seen in the last 1 year a rise of 15 to 20%, whether it's mobile, whether it's laptops, whether it's televisions, and appliances definitely has seen. But surprisingly, earlier what used to happen is each time a price used to go up and you used to see a slump in the demand. This time, in spite of the fact that in the last 1 year, 2 or 3 times the price have increased, and that too to a tune of 15 to 20%, we have not seen a reduction in demand. So that could also be because 2 months, more or less 2 months, both the years we have lost. So I think that's where the pent-up demand was also there. And I think now the consumers have also saved money in a lot of other spendings, like nobody's gone for a vacation, a proper vacation. So I think that's the money which is saved. I think on their personal clothing and all also the money has got saved. And so I think that's all being spent on the consumer durables. So people are right now not complaining about the price rise.
Yeah, and people have spent so much time at home, maybe found the importance of having that kind of level of comfort in your home and are willing to make those investments there. What about mobility? Mr. Singhania, the belief always was that personal mobility will get a big boost. We're seeing that trend the world over. No one will want to share transportation space as COVID-19 fears abound. Has that personal mobility bump really kicked in, and do you think these long delays and also price hikes in the auto space will be a dampener in demand for people?
So, what automobile industry faced was unique. Actually, we skipped the BS6 conversion, and auto industry in India directly went from BS4 to BS6. And obviously, there was a price hike, especially in diesel vehicles, when we switched over to BS6. And on top of that, as my panelists have told, the supplies issues have been there. All the raw material prices have gone up dramatically, and that has definitely increased the price of the car, vehicle, automobile, whether it is two-wheeler or passenger cars, everything has gone up. But definitely the demand was there, demand is there, and the requirement of personal mobility has really revived the auto industry. Apart from the pent up demand that was used up in the wave one, the second after the second wave, people have realized the importance of personal mobility. You can see substantial growth in used car business also. So that's also clearly indicates the requirement of personal mobility, the requirement of public avoiding public transport and having a car for their own purpose, that has gone up definitely. But one more good thing we can see is recent cab operators, they have said they have surpassed the pre-COVID level bookings in taxi operations. So that's a new revival that we are seeing in the industry. So people started moving out, coming out of their homes and moving in the market. We can see a lot of company people who are kind of stuck in their hometowns or they were working from home. They have now started coming out and working from various locations. And we also see a number of states opening up their education system also. Education system had, kind of stopped the growth of two-wheelers especially. So if all these systems open up, definitely the use of two-wheelers will increase, and we have been regularly seeing a kind of numbers not coming really in two-wheelers. But when things are open up, all public transport and railways and education system, then definitely two-wheelers will respond. So overall, I see even though there is a hike in prices, definitely there is a in auto industry it has affected more. The prices have substantially gone up, but the pent-up demand, requirement of the product, requirement of mobility, and on top of that, we have got a very average or good monsoon in India. So the rural economy will also respond for the festive season, even though we don't have products available.
Absolutely, absolutely. The rural push is a big one. The rural push is a big one that's going to come in as well. Remember, whenever you will look at these numbers year on year, it'll possibly be on a low base. In a lot of cases, we may not have reached pre-pandemic levels, but we're beginning to get there. We're beginning to get there, and the festive season just becomes an opportunity for demand destruction to be reversed, for people to go out and spend what they hadn't earlier, and all sectors may really benefit from that. Remember, that's also a time when a lot of temporary staffing increases, more jobs are created, at least for those few months. Travel and tourism also has an opportunity to boom. So let's keep our fingers crossed, let's keep our masks up and hope that a possible third wave doesn't spoil this story. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us on this special show this evening, and wishing everyone a fruitful and prosperous festive season.
Thank you.
Thank you.